So today is about this new YSL TOUCHE éCLAT foundation and some other things I also purchased recently. And this TOUCHE éCLAT foundation, I believe it's been in the market for like very long time, and recently I saw this on Selfridges with the new packaging, so I thought they might reformulate this product, and I never tried this famous foundation, so I thought I would just try it with the new formula. So my skin type is combination, and in the winter it's quite dry in this area and the T-zone is a little bit oily. So because my skin is a little bit dry today, I think I would use a little serum primer from HOURGLASS. It's the 28 primer serum to just give my face a little more hydration before I put this foundation on. It has a pump, and I am in the shade BD25. It says on the box that this is a glow foundation with flawless, breathable, medium coverage and all-day hydration. So it's like it claims itself a hydrating foundation. It says long wear glow. Our reflecting technology captures and diffuses our iconic light of TOUCHE éCLAT to enhance skin's luminosity all day long. So it's a glowy foundation, a long wear glowy foundation is supposed to be, and a breathable medium coverage, flawless yet breathable coverage for even makeup result in weightless fluid texture without cakey effect. So it's a lightweight medium coverage. So let's actually try the foundation. It's quite runny texture, and I believe BD25 is supposed to be a warmer, like yellowy undertoned, golden undertoned color, but it's quite pink. For reference, this is the YSL TOUCHE éCLAT in BD25, and this is Armani Luminous Silk in the shade 4, and this one is NARS Natural Radiant in the shade Fiji. So this one, especially the NARS one, is quite yellowy undertone, so you can see this one is more of a peachy pink undertone. I also think it has oxidized a little bit, so let's pump. This is a fresh pump, so it's oxidized in a deeper, more peachier shade. I'm using a sponge to apply this. Well, the coverage is has quite some coverage to it. Actually, I would think it's more than a medium coverage for me. It's not a full coverage because I still can see a little bit spots here and there, but yeah, it's more of a fuller coverage foundation. I would say it's definitely more coverage than the Armani Luminous Silk. And I don't find it that hydrating. It's pretty much a satin finish. It's not very glowy at all. And here you can see the coverage. This side is without the foundation. Well, I applied a little bit in this area because too much, but there is still redness on this area, and it's all covered in this area. And on my face, it's not that peachy. I would say it's quite a nice match for my skin tone. Yeah. it's not that hydrating at all. It's just for me it's just a satin finish foundation. Maybe I'll feel differently if it's in the summer, but now in the winter, inside with air conditioner, this is just a satin finish. Even with the very hydrating primer I've put down before this, the Hourglass one, still it's pretty much a satin foundation. I won't say it's matte. It's not matte at all. It's just satin. Skin finish foundation. I don't want to affect how the foundation wears with a concealer, so I'll just put the foundation around eyes as a concealer. And it has the scent, like the YSL foundation scent. They all have that same scent. I don't know if it's floral or just the smell of the ingredient. It's definitely not very strong. It's very light scent. You won't able to be smell that once it's on your skin. So that is less than a pump applied on my face. I set the exposure of the camera down a little bit so you can see the color, the texture better. I think it's quite a flawless finish, even though I don't really have that much of scar right now, so it's hard to tell, but I think it's more than medium coverage for me. And the finish is like a skin finish, like I said. Set the foundation with some powder. This is the Fenty powder. I'm just gonna set the foundation very lightly. From like how I feel while I'm applying it, I don't think this foundation is a foundation that will move all around your face. It pretty much stays where you apply it. A very light layer of powder. It's almost matte, so I would say it's definitely not very glowy foundation. I have quite larger pores than the average people, so actually this foundation is settling into my pores at this area a little bit. Not very badly. You wouldn't be able to tell it unless you are like this distance, which is no one will get this close to my skin, so it's not very bad, but it does happen in this area. But other area is pretty smooth. So for bronzers, let's use this Hourglass one, the shade Golden Bronze Light. Just a little bit. And for blush, this SUQQU powder blush compact in 102. Because today I want to do a purpley eye look, so I maybe use this cool toned purple blush. Actually, this palette, even though it looks very, very scary, like all the very deep toned colors, but it's applied quite softly on the skin. I had a new highlighter to use from Mcgrath. It's their holiday highlighters. I got it from the Black Friday sale. Didn't expect this packaging to be so heavy. It's like a bar of gold. It's so heavy. But the color and the finish is very nice. It's like very glowy. But I just a little bit concerned about the shade. If the shade would be like a little bit too dark for me to use. Because on my hand it looks like a little bit too dark. So let's try this. Maybe I will use this in a larger area so it won't look like a stripe just on the top, on the highest point of my cheek. Just apply it like in this whole area lightly. Ooh, when you apply it very lightly, it's quite like a skin finish. It's not like a blending highlight. But I do see a pinky cast on this side where I applied the highlighter. But because I'm applying it in a very sheer way, it doesn't look that weird for me. And this side, I think if you are about my skin tone or if even a little bit lighter, you can't use this only on the highest point of the cheek. It will absolutely look a little bit too dark. But in the larger area, it's okay. It's quite nice. And for eyeshadow, this palette from also from color is like so beautiful, even though it doesn't have the most popular Blitz Astrals shade, like the very glittery shades, but I still think it's quite a beautiful palette. It's like a palette full of one and done shadows. Even these like purples, they can use all over the lid as a one and done shadow. So I think this palette is like so beautiful. And there's this 3 shades that was like so pretty. These 3 shades. Even they are not like the Blitz Astral shade, still like, especially these 2 shades, like so beautiful, so glittery and glowy shade. So I actually want to mainly use this shade on my lid. Maybe first apply a little bit this as a transition shade to see. This shadow, this pink mauve shadow, applies much more grayish on my eyelid. Like, would you think this color and what's on my eyelid is the same shade? I don't think. Maybe I should apply a little bit more. Yeah, by layering, this shadow definitely applies more similar as what it was in the pan. So now let's use this shadow. It's like so pretty, so beautiful. So first I want to apply a sheer layer with the brush. Oh, there's no fallout, so that's good. So I've applied it all over my lid with brush. So now let's let's apply this on the center of the eyelid with finger. Oh, the pigmentation, like the subtle sheen of this eyeshadow is so beautiful. And there is really no fallout of these shades. Maybe it's because they are more like a very creamy formula. Not a cream yet, but it's like a little bit more moisture than a normal powder eyeshadow. Yeah, the color is so pretty. Definitely, I think this shade would be a one and done eyeshadow because it has its depth. Like when you turn the finger, the color goes darker, and it also has this beautiful magenta hot pink sheen on it. So pretty. Since this eye look is already very intense, maybe I just layering a little bit this color on the center of the eyelid. It's quite pretty, but actually I kind of prefer when I'm not layering this color. That purple shade is like very beautiful on itself. So the eyes are done. I used the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk eyeliner, which is a pinky reddish brown shade, which is perfect for this shade. And this shade is just so beautiful. I think this color might be the favorite shade in this palette for me. The lips. Actually, I bought these three little trails from Pat Mcgrath with all of these things in the same order. And actually, I like this Divine Rose colored gloss the best. It's like a very pretty, high shine, high pigment kind of gloss. I think with this gloss, nobody needs lip fillers anymore, right? I think I might have to purchase the full size of this little thing because I don't think this one will last me that long. So the makeup is done. So far everything blends nicely on this foundation, and there's just this one area. The foundation is settling into the pores so badly. Again, you won't be tell from a normal distance, but I can see it. Look at this area. For me, foundation settling into the pores can only get worse. It never gets better as time, like as you wear it during the day. So I want to say this might not be like my type of foundation, or maybe I'll just using this in the wrong season. But also it claims it to be a very hydrating foundation, so you'd expect this thing works for you in the winter, but it really doesn't. It doesn't really emphasize of your like dry patches or anything, but this dry area, it does settling into my large pores. So, but in other area, it doesn't do the same thing. Like, also in this area and this area, I have large pores as well, but doesn't settling into those areas. So either I'm apply it not very carefully in this area, or I applied too much, maybe, because I was using this as a concealer also under my eyes. So maybe that's why. Maybe that's because I applied too much on this side. I don't know. Yeah. Because I don't have a light to film in the evening, so there's no updates or anything. But I will leave a comment or leave updates in the description box of how this foundation wore till the end of the day. Yeah. So actually everything I've applied I loved a lot, like all of these Mcgrath products. Just I think I have to wear this foundation a couple more times to tell what I actually feel about this one. But for right now it's like a satin foundation, not so hydrating, and it will settle into my large pores a little bit. Yeah, that's it I think. Thank you for watching. Bye.